Well, hello again, everybody. Welcome back to another one of my videos. We're gonna try something new again. Just wanted to do a quick video explaining just kind of high level, not a deep dive of the Taylor Swift news, and just a little background of her albums. You can see the villagers behind me are taking a beating, so we're gonna have them out here. we're in creative mode, but just because we're fine doesn't mean that they're fine. So I had to stay in creative because it took a long time, a very, very, very long time to get all the wool that I needed and all the dyes that I needed, and then I had too many creeper encounters that were close calls, so I decided to just stay in creative. So this is going to be a very different video today. So I just wanted to be real quick. This is just going to be a brief overview. I have some visuals behind me. This is just for anybody who, maybe you're new to the Swiftie fandom, maybe you're neurospicy and you need information in a different way, maybe you have a friend or a family member who is a Swiftie and you just haven't gotten enough information yet. What's the big news from today? So this is just going to be a quick breakdown of what happened previously and why today was some really big news and what the news was. I will list some creators in the description below who I like to follow to give me Easter egg breakdowns to help with, just what's going on and what do we think's coming next, those kinds of things. I'll put a bunch of names in the description below of people I like to follow for more news and all the Easter eggs, those kinds of deep dives. This is just going to be high level, quick. This is where we're at. This is what happened. Let's go. Kind of just hopefully it makes sense to most of you. If not, that's okay. Thanks for watching and supporting the video anyway. So we're going to go back in first person for this so that we can zoom in a little bit. If you're wondering why there's this many villagers, I originally started building these on the mountain over here so that I just wanted a couple villagers in the background. Like literally just a town full of villagers just in the background, just every once in a while walking up and going aww, aww. But it just wasn't panning out to build over here. And so I was stealing all the dirt from over here and I was placing it over here, and it was just too far for them. And so I placed a few here in creative mode, and they promptly wandered back to the village all by themselves and couldn't be bothered to stay over here for 5 seconds for my video. So I added a few more, assuming that most of them would leave again. They did not. These ones are still here. So there you go. That's why I have a lot of villagers. Okay, so these are Taylor Swift's albums in order. I will explain why there's a ruined portal here. It makes absolute sense if you're a Swiftie and a Minecraft fan. So we'll start back here. I tried to make them look like vinyls because she really likes vinyls. Everything is color-coded. Not everything has a perfect color, but I mean, neither do the emojis that she uses for her own album. So Taylor Swift, you might hear it called the debut album. This is a self-titled album. This was more country music. This was her first album. This was released in 2006. It was just there's not much more to that. It's her debut album. If you've heard her Tim McGraw song or heard of her Tim McGraw song that was here, it's just her first album. I'm a country fan. I like it. You could tell it's very different vocals from now, but I still like it. Um, yeah, it's just her first album, 2006. So her second album, Fearless, this was 2008. She's still technically in the country realm. I felt like she was already drifting into pop music from here over here, but I feel like country itself was drifting into pop. A lot of artists were drifting into pop. But this came out 2008, so that was her second album. Speak Now was her third album in 2010, and again, she's drifting into pop music. But like Red is known as her I'm Here and I'm in Pop Music album. So Red was in 2012, and then 1989 was her next album, which was 2014. So everything has a 2-year pattern at this point: 2006, 2008, 2010, 2012, 2014, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So she's just on a regular cycle. She's just making an album, touring, So that's just generally what these are known for. And then there was this break in the middle. Reputation, which is this one here, didn't come out till 2017. So the Ruined Portal is meant to represent what some fans believe is the lost album of Karma. Since Reputation didn't come out till 2017, there are rumors that she was perhaps ready to go with an album in 2016, but there was drama that happened which ultimately led to an amazing album, but that there was something already there. So I included this here in the timeline because this is the would have been 2016 album, which is known as Karma. It's probably not the real name of the album. It is simply from Easter eggs. There's plenty of deep dives that go into it. I'll list again people down below in the description for more deep dives on it. But that's essentially, if you hear people talk about her album Karma, it's the lost album. It's the one that would have come after these initial albums, but didn't. And so once the timeline was disrupted, she released Reputation. And then somewhere in this time frame before she released Lover, 2019 is, she released Lover 2019 as well, but sometime in 2019, all of her music was sold from under her. She asked in 2018 if she could buy it. She was denied. Moped Man decided that he was going to buy it, and he was allowed. The whole thing. So all of this music was purchased from her, because it's standard in the music industry that you don't own your music. So she didn't own these, and she asked to buy them. They said no, and they got sold to somebody else. So then she releases Lover. Lover is hers. It comes after Reputation. After Lover is Folklore. This was released in 2020. Evermore was also released in 2020. If you hear people talk about the sister albums, these are the albums that they are generally talking about. There's rumors of others. We now call any album that was stolen or locked in a vault, they might be referred to as sisters, but generally speaking, these are the two sisters. They were both released in 2020, early 2020 and late 2020. But Folklore and Evermore, when she was on the Eras tour, she combined these eras, and fans call them Folkmore. So instead of Folklore, it's Folklore, and Evermore, it's Folkmore, if you hear them combined. And then in 2022, she released Midnights. And so it's kind of back on the 2-year cycle at this point, where we're starting to see the pattern emerge again. And then in 2024, she released the Tortured Poets Department. So, what happened to all the ones over here that got bought out from under her and that she didn't own? Well, she still wants to own them, and so if you re-record the masters, if you re-record the song, and you put a little something different on it, add a couple vault tracks to them, it can be classified as a brand new album. So she called them Fearless Taylor's version, Speak Now Taylor's version. So if you hear a fan call an album Taylor's version, she's re-recorded it. So the re-records, Fearless came in 2021, in April of 2021, and then she jumped to Red in November of 2021. Then she hopped back to Speak Now in July of 2023. In 1989, October of 2023. So again, 2-year cycle, but now she's on the Taylor's version. So she's reclaiming her old music. So I'm gonna get some more light in here. So you have Fearless and you have Fearless Taylor's version. So Taylor's version was recorded more recently. It is the one that she owns. You have Speak Now and you have Speak Now Taylor's version. Taylor's version is the one that she re-recorded more recently and she owns. Now, what was the big news today on May 30th, 2025? Well, she went back and got to buy all these albums. So she got the opportunity to buy these albums back. So she now owns her debut album. She now owns Fearless and Fearless Taylor's version. She now owns Speak Now and Speak Now Taylor's version. Red and Red Taylor's version. 1989 and 1989 Taylor's version. So she wrote a letter to fans that said she has already re-recorded her debut album, that it is ready to go, that she was preparing to launch it. It just wasn't time yet, and she will release it if fans want it. And of course, fans want it. Fans want Taylor's version anyway. But she now owns the original, so every version is now Taylor's version. Now, the other album that got bought out from under her that's missing from this lineup is Reputation. Reputation, Taylor's version, wasn't completed. She had not re-recorded all of Reputation yet. Now you might say, but Cassie, my friend can't stop talking about Handmaid's Tale. I know. There's a couple songs that have been used elsewhere that are Taylor's version from Reputation, Taylor's version. I know. But she said in the letter, less than a quarter is done. Less than a quarter. Less than a quarter of that album is done. We've kind of been hoping that she'll just literally drop it in a couple of days. There's less than a quarter done. I don't think she's gonna drop it in a couple of days. But she does have a couple things done on it, and she does have vault tracks. Now, Taylor's versions have been released with vault tracks, which means it was a song that she wrote for the original album, but decided to cut it from the original album. For whatever reason, maybe she only wanted 20 songs. Maybe she only wanted happy songs. Whatever the vibe was, she cuts them for whatever reason, but they are on the Taylor's version. So when she re-released them, they are on the new version. So she has vault tracks for Reputation. She has a couple songs re-recorded. And of course, people are begging for those as well. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. That's the big news that happened today. That is kind of a history of the albums. I would love to dive more into Easter eggs if people want to talk about Easter eggs. I generally get a lot of my information from the creators that I am going to be posting down below, but I would love to do more visuals like this. I'll get better at building with more practice. But let me know in the comments down below what your favorite album is, what your favorite song is. If it's from a different album, how does that mesh for you? And what's your favorite use of the number 13 if you're a Swiftie? If you're not a Swiftie, but you found this video because you were looking to relate to your friend or your family member, you needed to digest that information a different way, please tell me that too. I'm neurospicy, and I really like meeting other neurospicy people who just need info in a different way sometimes. So drop a comment down below. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to do this real quick because I'm real happy for her. So thanks for stopping by, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye everybody.